And there's a great question in the comments, which I feel like I already answered in my Venom video in my intro, but I guess I have to explain it. So, Matef1 asks, why does Harry call himself Venom, though, in the context of the game? Because in the comics, it's about, you know, it's not Venom as a character, it's Venom as the combination. And even Brian says this himself. Brian, when I asked him the question during San Diego Comic-Con, he said Venom is the equation of the host plus the symbiote equals Venom, and he's 100% right.
Hey guys, how's it going? Hey
How's
Bill, hey Brian, Josh.
Evan. Good to see you.
Good to see you guys too. The Hall H panel was incredible yesterday. Totally focused on Venom and the black suit and the symbiote, and it was phenomenal. So my question for you guys is, seeing how big of a role Venom is going to play in the game, what does the character of Venom mean to each of you?
Good question.
Yeah, I think for me, it comes down to, you know, when people think of Venom, for me, it's Venom is the equation of a host plus the symbiote equals Venom. And not only are they bonded physically, but there's something else emotionally that bonds them together. So I think when you play Marvel Spider-Man, you'll understand how that comes to be based on the story we're telling.
Now, we're one. Now, you're gonna pay. From now on, we're poison to you, Spider-Man. That's why we call ourselves Venom.
From now on, we're poison to Peter Parker and Spider-Man. We're Venom!
That's the whole point of why they say we are Venom. That's why the Spider-Man 3 movie didn't work, because they just ignore that completely, and Eddie just says, I
want to kill the spider. You want to kill the spider. Together, he doesn't stand a chance.
Interested?
And then even though honestly, I think the Venom movie is a worse offender of this, because then they just said, I am Venom, and the symbiote's name is Venom. That's not it. That's not what it is. So that just made things even more complicated for mainstream, you know, audience goers.
What the hell are you?
I am Venom, and you are mine.
My reasoning is where in the game, Peter and Harry are fighting Kraven, right? And this is when Harry is still Agent Venom. And Kraven stabs Peter, and Harry is enraged. And the symbiote, that's the first time I believe the symbiote is feeling rage from Harry. And Kraven sees that, and he says,
Not as venomous as they say.
and then Harry might have heard that, might have not heard that. But what's important is that Peter heard that. When Kraven stabs Peter, and Peter dies, and Harry's there, and the symbiote revives Peter, the symbiote then inherits all of Peter's memories.
This thing knows exactly how I like to fight.
How's the suit?
Weird. It's like it knows me. Don't worry, buddy. I'll take care of everything. Promise.
So the symbiote is experiencing this power with Peter, but it's experiencing the power of a superpowered person.
What is that?
So in a way, the symbiote's also saying,
Oh, this feels good.
because that's what it's wanted this whole time, is a stronger host to bond with, not just Harry who's sick and dying, but a host that can better suit his needs.
I'm wearing an alien.
We call it a symbiote. It bonds at the subcellular level with its host. In our case, Harry Osborne. He gave it to you?
Not exactly. I was hurt,
And it chose you.
At that point, the symbiote inherited the memory of when Kraven said, not as venomous as they say. The symbiote learned what that said from Peter, because Peter heard that. The symbiote inherited that memory and now knows about what it said. So, it's learning about that experience with Kraven.
Is Spider-Man doing more harm than good? How about now? Now who needs the old Spider-Man? What's so great about the new Spider-Man anyway? He can't even stop some hunters. They destroyed the EMF. Destroyed my life. I'm going to lose May's house because of them and Kraven.
And then the symbiote says, because that's what the symbiote's been wanting to do since it met Kraven from day one. The symbiote at first was a neutral alien entity in the comics, right? And it learned emotion and feelings from its host. So in the comics, it learned all that from Peter, which is why Peter is blaming himself for the actions of the symbiote, not the other way around. He's not like, the symbiote did this to me, it's the symbiote's fault, it's the alien's fault, it's Peter. He let that happen, which is why Venom is always Spider-Man's greatest failure.
This is your fault, Pete. You gotta fix it. I was such a jerk to Harry when I had that suit. I need to find him, apologize, and try to get through to him.
He tarnished his great power, great responsibility mantra by over-embellishing in the power that the symbiote provided him. In this case, with Kraven, the symbiote is still like, I just want to be good for my host. I want to live my life with the host that I'm bonded with. So with Harry, it's like, yeah, I'll stick with this sick guy, but I'll still be an alien wanting to thrive off a host. Not knowing that Peter is such a troubled person that he would indirectly corrupt the symbiote from bonding him with that much longer, right? So when he's bonded with Peter for longer, he's learning about arrogance, overconfidence, hatred, rage, all this stuff negatively from Peter is what the symbiote is learning from that host. And then when Peter tries to kill Kraven, the symbiote's like,
"You're in the way, Miles!"
Always in the way.
I could have fixed everything! Now this city thinks that I'm the problem!
You think I'm the problem?
But I'm not anymore!
I'm the solution.
The symbiote at that point is only acting upon what Peter is feeling. He's even in that later mission where you see the Mr. Negative hallucinations with the symbiote killing all the villains. Like, Miles has no clue what's going on. So everything that Miles is saying is really irrelevant because he's not behind the symbiote. Peter is. He's not knowing what the symbiote's doing to him and vice versa. So he's like, if I kill all these villains, then my problem is solved.
Where are we anyway?
We are inside Spider-Man's mind. We've seen what those creatures do to people around the city. They get in your head, twist your desires.
Everyone he puts away! They keep coming back!
Must be frustrating. Putting criminals away just for them to escape and cause more pain.
Part of the job. He knows that.
What is?
Believing in second chances. The symbiote. He killed them all.
The problem solved.
That's not what Pete thinks.
No, but it might be how he feels.
All these villains. He really thought the suit could solve it all.
Because that is what he's going through. He had to lose Aunt May. He had to fight his mentor turned villain with Doc Ock. He fought Mr. Negative and let the Devil's Breath virus go all across New York in this alien invasion too with the symbiote. And Kraven killing all of his villains. That's something that Miles gets. It's like, that's part of the job. What is? Believing in second chances. That's absolutely true. Because that's what Spider-Man's all about, is never giving up. Never giving up on yourself, but also others. The symbiote's literally learning in the deepest, darkest corners of Peter's inner psyche and his heart who he is and what he wants. He wants to kill Kraven. He wants to kill his villains. He wants to stop them from harming people in the city just so he can live a normal life with, like what he was saying, like my job, my house, Aunt May, her legacy, kill Kraven. That will solve everything. That's all coming from Peter. That's not the symbiote forcing Peter to do that. It's only amplifying what Peter's already feeling, which is why Peter's like,
These last few days... Miles, I'm sorry.
Now that the symbiote is off of you, how are you feeling?
Fine. Relieved that it's over. Ashamed at what I did.
because he was. Peter was. Not the symbiote acting and controlling, manipulating Peter. Peter was. It was all on him. So this all goes back to, why does Harry call himself Venom? Why is it that Harry says we are Venom and not, I am Venom, the symbiote is Venom? It's because of what Harry learns back and forth from Peter and the symbiote when it goes and bonds back to Harry. Because at that point, the symbiote kind of makes itself known to Harry that it's an alien. When Harry initially bonds with it, He doesn't know. He just thinks it's this, exosuit that Peter's hoarding away. He's my best friend. He wants me to die. That's all that Harry knows at that point. He bonds with it, and then that hatred that he has initially for Peter, and the resentment, the resentment of like, how dare you do this to me? I gave you...
We gave you everything you ever wanted, and you threw us away.
I should have been better. I'm so sorry.
I gave you a job. I gave you a career. I gave you my suit that you could be a better hero with, and you just leave me to die? What is your problem? Like that. So all that resentment, hate, pent-up anger is amplified within Harry, and then also the symbiote is feeling the exact same thing.
You took him away from us.
Took him away? What the hell are you talking about?
In the forest, we remember what you did.
Harry! Man, that's the symbiote talking, not you!
You were jealous. That's why you pushed us apart.
Maybe I was, but Pete wasn't Pete!
So they bond, and that creates Venom. And then, when he's causing that rampage throughout Oscorp, he sees Kraven again after he leaves. Like, he sees the Hunters, he goes into the city for the first time as Venom, and he just wreaks havoc and just lets loose and lets all that rage and anger that he feels towards his dad for letting him, just be alone that whole time and not really acting like a son, but acting like a thing he has to fix, and towards Peter for being a friend that just threw him in the trash pretty much, and lets all that loose towards Kraven and the Hunters and the Oscorp guards. Then, the person that started all this, that was the catalyst, like what the head writer John Paquette said, that he's the catalyst for all this happening in the first place, returns. Kraven returns, and he wants the ultimate challenge. He wants a monster to fight, and he sees Venom. And Venom sees him, he's like...
We were separated because of you.
That's all!
Because of the symbiote loving Peter. Because that was the ideal host for the symbiote, and Peter threw it away. But it was because of the fight that happened with Kraven and Miles that happened in the first place. But also with Harry, because without Kraven stabbing Peter, the symbiote wouldn't have left Harry to go on to Peter. So they're both feeling resentment and abandonment from each other because of Peter and Kraven. But that entire time, Harry is mad at Kraven for hurting Peter and also for making the suit separate from him. But the symbiote is mad at Kraven also for the same reason, and also for Kraven ending up being a reason for why the symbiote is why Peter removes the symbiote. Kraven, in one of the dialogues, he says,
I see your true form! You are death, cloaked in beast flesh! I have never felt such pain.
First off, that's a effing bar if I've ever heard one. That's an amazing line. But also, I've never felt such pain in the terms of like, oh yeah, he's this big hulking monster beating up Kraven. No, I've never felt such pain as in sadness. Like, I've never felt such anguish and pain coming from a person letting it loose onto others. That's what Harry's feeling.
You destroyed our world, hurt our friends.
Let your vengeance feast upon my flesh!
And all that pain and anger and hatred and suffering culminates into him and the symbiote doing the unthinkable. They kill Kraven. Together, they kill Kraven because Harry and the symbiote are equally mad at him, and they proved what Kraven said all along since the first encounter.
Not as venomous as they say.
Because the symbiote learned that line from Kraven after bonding with Peter and inherited that memory of what Kraven said, right? So because of that, it also shared that memory with Harry, and Harry is equally mad at Kraven for destroying the EMF, destroying the bond he had with the symbiote because he, had it separate from Harry unintentionally, but also going after his legacy and his mom's legacy with the EMF and all that means to him personally. The symbiote and Harry ended up proving to what Kraven wanted them to be. A monster. An entity that could destroy him from the very depths of his soul to give him what he wanted, and it did. So it proved Kraven right. And that's why it embraced what Kraven said. Not as venomous as they say. We are not Harry. We are Venom. And that's my reasoning for it.
Harry.
not, Harry. Not as venomous as they say.
I see your true form! You are death, cloaked in beast flesh! I have never felt such pain. Do you know what it's like to have your body betray you? Weakness will not claim me! If I am to die soon, I will die! Roar!